everyone, and welcome to the last Topical Tuesday session of 2021. And today we are going to be talking about fame, all things fame, and what happened and what we learned. Just please make sure your microphone is muted when you aren't speaking, and please use the question and answer feature. That really helps us. So we started fame with what was a phenomenal author session with Christina Soontervat, speaking about what it's like as a Thai American to not have seen herself in a book, and the incredible story of her life and her authorship. And it was amazing. She was absolutely wonderful. And we finished up with Colby Sharp, who, if you don't know Colby Sharp, he's amazing. Talking about the power of putting the right book in a kid's hands. Really wonderful way to start and finish our first fame in 2 years. And it was wonderful to be together with everyone who was there. We missed those of you who could not be there, we know, and hopefully next year will be bigger and better. It is, I believe, the same weekend, first weekend of December, and it will be in Daytona, and our very own Deb Speck is chairing that conference. So I'm sure it will be a fabulous conference. So put those dates on your calendar now. Think about asking for the TDE as soon as you return to school after the summer, so that you don't miss out on what will be a great conference. I'm going to turn it over to Tony, who's going to share about her sessions.
Hi. The first one, I'm going to just highlight two of them because I don't want to overlap with some other people. But one of the ones that I went to was called Organized Chaos, Learning Centers in the Library. And basically they said you have to consider your planning, your storage, and your grouping. And she had a really cool way of doing her grouping. I did include that. I included her presentation link. So when this gets shared out, all you have to do is click on that and you'll see her entire presentation. Basically, she has 5 different sessions that are 5 different centers, I guess you could say, that she provides in her media center. This would, if you are on a 1-week rotation, this would provide you with 5 weeks of lesson plans. So she does technology, where she provides templates. She does research activities. She lets them, depending on the age group, she lets them read ebooks and tumble books. In her reading, she does readers theater. She always makes sure she matches the script to the number of people in the group. And she also has some independent reading there. In her writing and drawing area, she likes to put out butcher paper, and which I thought was a really cool idea. And then they write on a topic, and then they illustrate that topic, and then you can hang it up wherever you would like in your media center. Another good one is writing letters to someone. You could write letters to some people in your school, or you can write letters to veterans, or things like that, or maybe your politicians. Then as part of the standards for K-2, they have to practice handwriting. So that is a standard these days. And so she does that there too. In her maker space, she has task cards, Legos, coding, magnetiles, all kinds of things that they can create. And then she also has a game section where she does board games, puzzles, chess, checkers, any kinds of board games like that. She said, but the really, really big key is parameters are the big thing. You've got to make sure that it's specific guidelines, and step-by-step tasks are the key. But you can see her whole presentation if you click on that presentation link.
And she provided all of those resources, down to even a timer. She's got amazing resources that you could just copy and make your own.
Yes. The second one that I have here for us is the one that Deb Speck and I presented. So Deb, if you want to chime in too. This is also linked. So where it says booked on STEM, it will take you to this page. And there are lessons created for all grade levels except for 5th. They're working on that right now. And I do have our presentation link at the bottom. But Deb, why don't you go ahead and say something about it too?
So this is something Tony and I started several years ago. And thanks to Tony, actually, it's morphed into something that's directly aligned to the district standards through 5th grade, although I think it's only completed through 4th grade. So yes. My high school students, it changes, book club, football players, read the STEM titles to Tony's elementary, depends on what her schedule is, either first or second grade. And they read and discuss the book, and every book has an activity. And then at the end, last year, the football players went on a field trip to Marsh Point Elementary and did the STEM activities with the second grade classes. And they were out of their minds when the football players came in. It was amazing. And, the football players, they got a little bit of swag going on. They were kind of, too cool to be in an elementary school, but the interaction and the bonds that were formed were amazing. The activities, the high schoolers were as excited as her students. And let me tell you, her kids were over the top with the activities. But you don't just have to limit it. If you don't know somebody in high school to play in your sandbox, your fifth graders can do it with kindergarten, or your middle school can do it with a nearby elementary school. There's endless possibilities for how you can connect now. We were doing Google Hangout back in the day. Now it's Google Classroom. So if you have any questions, we've made it work a lot of different ways. The premise was to model digital literacy using Mac and VIA. And it's just grown into something really great. But it even worked the year Tony did her pigeon unit. And I thought, oh my God, how are we ever going to read pigeon? But my high schoolers were totally into pigeon, and it was very amusing watching them read pigeon. And then we went to Tony's for the pigeon party. So there's, between the two of us over the years that we've done it, there's a lot of really great ideas. So reach out if you want to try it.
Yeah, and the other cool thing too is that we made sure that some of the teachers were involved. So Deb's English, English teacher who taught her football players and things like that, she came along. Her admin came along. My admin was here. Everybody was on their hands and knees doing science projects with all the kids, and it's a really good way to advocate for your media center as well. So it really was an amazing event and an amazing day, and everybody came from it, happy and enamored. And my kids truly were enamored. I had this little girl that was just trying to hop on the biggest football player and give him the biggest hug she could possibly give him. So it was super, super sweet. And like Deb said, utilize, look at it, make it your own, and figure out how it works for your school. And if you want to do it within the parameters of your school, I think that's a great way to get some of your teachers on board too, especially if you're working on that kind of collaboration.
And if you're trying to use Mac and VIA and get people more interested in the digital collection, it's also a great way to introduce that. My students use iPads to read to Tony students, and the illustrations, when you use the STEM titles and the picture books, they're beautiful. So don't be afraid to do that also.
All right. This was awesome. I know the session was really well received, and please reach out to Deb and Tony. They're happy to share their results, their methods, how they made it work. We are stronger together for sure. All right. So Kathleen couldn't be with us today. She went to the fines workshop where they introduced the new and improved fines, and she made this beautiful slide about it. But what I really want to highlight is that with the official release of the fines, there is now a student guide. This is great for elementary kids, even middle school. Quick, easy way to break fines down and share all of the information so that they can break research down into those bite-sized chunks. And there's a great infographic that you can share with your teachers so they may wish to use fines. It's much simpler than it used to be. This is going to come up. It's a wonderful infographic. It's apparently really slow today, but I promise you that it is linked out. There is a whole session we did on the updated fines on Topical Tuesday. So if you want to know more about fines, go ahead and check that out. And then I went to a great session with Carrie Friday where she is using large print books. I really, really loved how she highlighted what large print has and how it has more white space, how it's easier to read, it has fewer words per page, but it looks like the same book. The idea that she put that there twice. And I think that's really important to mention, that the books look identical and her kids won't know the difference, but it really does address the needs of struggling readers. And it allows those popular titles that are not accessible to all of our students to be accessible to everyone. Her results of implementing large print books is she's got more copies of high demand books. Her students are gravitating towards the large print. All kids are. Most students are reading and they are reading successfully. More students are reading and they are reading successfully. And students are using the books for her reading challenge. If you want to know more about her reading challenge, reach out to Carrie on social media. Her reading challenge is amazing. She changes it up every year. She is more than willing to share. And I've got the full presentation linked. The other thing she was finding is that self-confidence and literacy confidence increased with these large print books, and that they were saying reading is now cool. We will be having a rep from Thorndike Cengage for the youth large print coming to us on Topical Tuesday on February. But Thorndike did a survey, so this is about how large print books can affect your readers. You might really, if you have those struggling readers, I know we all do, you might want to start adding some of these books to your collection. Writing a Dollar General grant for these immediately comes to mind as a literacy project. But you can see that the experience has changed by reading large print. They could focus better, they didn't lose their place, they found reading more enjoyable, and middle school students were increasing their lexiles. Really great stuff coming from large print books. I went to a full or half-day workshop on reimagining your media center as a hub for belonging. It was a really in-depth training. It was thought-provoking. They took diversity, equity, and inclusion and added a hyphen, make it include belonging, which I really liked. And we explored the relationship between DEI-B and the Media Center. And we looked further into the relationships between the Media Center and how it aligns to your district's strategic plan and mission and your school's strategic plan and mission. We explored the added value of the Media Center to the student learning experience. And then we looked at strategies to foster interpersonal understanding, inclusion, and social emotional support in the Media Center. It was a heavy topic. It was really interesting. I really took a lot away from it, looking at how your Media Center fits into the district's strategic plan and mission and your school's strategic plan and mission. This is a great way for us to advocate for our programs. And it really boils down to our collection development program. We need those collection development plans. So my biggest takeaway from this workshop was that the Media Center equals the school operating beliefs and values, mission, and vision. And we need to collaborate to build services that serve our entire population and use our school data. If we use our school data, we're going to make ourselves invaluable to our administration. We know we're already invaluable, but the data will help your principal understand your value. And you're going to look at your enrollment, your accessibility, academic achievement, discipline, graduation rates, college and career readiness. And you're going to tie all of these things together with your collection development plan, right? Write those plans and put all of these goals in and share them with your administration. I think we'll see an increased respect for the Media Center. There will be training coming up in March on collection development plans. So stay tuned for that. And Amy Armbruster couldn't be with us today. She shared this great website that she found at FAME, which is Copyright and Creativity for Ethical Digital Citizens. And there are all kinds of resources for teaching copyright and fair use. So I wanted to take you into that website. They're super easy. It was one of AASL's best digital tools for 2021. There are ready-made lesson plans to share with your teachers and with your students on how to share fairly, why we share copyright in the real world. And there's all kinds of supplemental materials. This infographic is great. They have them printed for us at FAME but you can also print them out on your poster printer if you have one. You just have to sign up and get that. So that was Amy's website. Back in. I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie.
Hello. Okay, so this is kind of like a double one. But Tony and I went to one sort of about promoting. It was called Promoter Parish through social media with your library, and I think that both of us walked away with kind of going, "Aha! Yes, we need to do this." Right? So we're coming together on January 4th, which is the day we get back from winter break, in the afternoon from 12 to 3 at the McKesson building. We'll have treats and stuff, but we kind of really want to create an online PLC where not only can we get creative, but we can learn how to make lasting posts to promote our libraries. And again, show the importance, because there's a lot of things that everybody does day to day, but your administration, your parents, and even some of your staff don't even know that you do. So the more that we can promote it and share out and blast it, again, will help with the importance of media centers and becoming that hub of learning for all the students. So I have put for you the class code. You will get 6 points for the course if you sign up through ELM. And again, it's on the 4th from 12 to 3. And if you have any questions, please let me know. But it's going to be a lot of hands-on and a lot of creating. So we really hope that you guys can join us.
And just to add a note, the location for that is here at McKesson in the upstairs training room. Easy, fairly central location, and we hope to see you there. Uzma could not be here. She's got extended day school, and they're in the middle of their dismissal right now. However, she wanted to share this wonderful presentation she went to that was done by Taryn Souders about getting your kids excited about mysteries and how to use things like crime scene tape and create a mugshot photo wall and use evidence tags to label, have students rate books with fingerprints and then display them. All kinds of things to get students excited about mysteries. So we have some time left, and we have some people who went to FAME that are here that did not make a slide, but if they would love to share what they learned and their big takeaways from FAME, I would love to have them unmute their mics and go ahead and share.
I went to Carrie Fridays on choice boards, and I've always wanted to do a choice board, but I was a little nervous about it. And she's middle school, but she had some really good ideas for choice boards. So I'm going to drop the link to her presentation in the chat. It's super easy to follow, and she has a gazillion resources in there. So you guys can just look at it. You can copy, you can use some of hers. But it's a really great resource for choice boards. And like I said, she's middle school, but I think you can make it a lot easier. Oh, good. Lisa pulled it up. There it is. And it's got a lot of just really awesome ideas. You have to kind of go down to see some of her choices. Keep going down and it'll give you lots of, so that's an example. Like I said, this is definitely for middle school, but I think I would make mine with less choices and simpler. But I think it would be a really fun thing for the kids because they love choice and autonomy and being able to choose how they show what they know and that kind of thing. And you can really cater it to a holiday or an objective or a standard or whatever you guys are working on in the media center. It could be coding, it could be anything. But she has all these different ideas with all these links in it. And you guys can use these links to put in yours, or you can modify it however you want to do it. Because that was the best thing, is that you make it for your media center.
I agree. It was one of the best sessions ever. Mm-hmm. It was, they really did a lot of work putting that together.
Yeah, they did. I mean, this presentation is like 30, 40, I don't know how many, a lot of slides. So use it. We're getting it out there so you guys can not have to do as much work, but still enjoy these ideas.
All right, is there anyone else who'd like to share? All right. So turn it back over to our presentation. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer quickly about the FAME presentations that we shared today? Go ahead, April.
I don't have questions about fame, but if we are when you're ready, I do have some questions about Battle of the Books, because this is the first time I've actually done it, and it's at middle school. So I just have some very basic, like when is the actual, where does this happen in the classroom?
April, let's address those at a different time. I want to
Okay.
stick to the FAME share topic.
Okay.
Chelsea, I couldn't hear you. If you want to type it, go ahead. Bummer. Sorry about that, Chelsea. We had a great group that attended FAME. Thank you for everyone for sharing about your experiences at FAME. Couple of things, please join Emma. There's more programming coming up. And I will be sharing that information out. Takesha, the links to the other presentations will be in this slideshow, and I will be sharing that out with the recording today. Chelsea is saying she went to the one for Florida Power Libraries, and there's an excellent rubric. If you've not seen the Excel rubric, I will share that as well. It's a really powerful way to look at your library program. And we would love to have people apply for Florida Power Library. So if you're interested, I am the state co-chair. Reach out to me. I would love to help you through that process. If you were looking for points, go ahead and register in e-learning. You can get 20 points, and you can do some of the sessions recorded, some of the sessions live, all recorded, all live, your choice. One follow-up activity, it's not a lot. I promise you it's very easy, and it's a quick, easy 20 points. I forgot to put the next one. The next one is in January, and we will be talking with Pete Stewart about what's coming to our LGBTQ collections and why it's important to have books with LGBTQ representation. So I'm going to stop recording.